Welcome everybody to the seasonal diet, eating what our ancestors ate when they ate it like we were evolved to do. Final month of seasonal diet tips for the year, December. The winter is here and it's not a whole lot different than the diets of November and January, which I have done videos on as well. But there are a couple of important seasonal changes that our ancestors would have experienced in December that would have made a good change to their diet. So still, we are in feasting season, not just for us today in the holidays, but ancient peoples had all these high festivals and feasts and all these things going from October even till January, February. So we are still in bulking season. We're trying to get fat for the winter here. The scarcity mindset is not quite upon us yet. A few things. Fruit season is basically done. If you are from a place where citrus or other fruits grow, we can eat those, but there is not much else growing in the places where there are harsh winters, where most of you are from. There are a couple random winter berries and things like that, but the fresh fruits are pretty much done. So mainly, if the ancestors were going to be eating any fruits, it would be dried or preserved fruits like grapes and raisins, figs, apricots, dates, whatever, the fruits growing near you that would be able to be dried. And also the jams and the preserves would have been good for our ancestors at this time of year. Also nuts, different types of nuts have a very long shelf life, so you can check which nuts are available in your kind of growing in your area there. And that would have been a winter staple for your ancestors as well. Vegetable season, that's about done too. There may be some veggies that are still fresh from the harvest, from a month or two ago. Carrots and potatoes, for example, are the other root vegetables. They are easily preserved if they're in a cool, dry place. They have a long shelf life, but most of the veggies in our ancestral diet now would have been the preserved ones. So we're looking at the pickled and jarred stuff mainly. Also, grains, they would have been harvested too a couple months ago. The wheats, rye, barley, oats, those are starting to be a big part of our ancestors' diet, but not quite yet. They would have preserved those to mainly make use of those in the later winter months. So not too much grains in the diet quite yet, but definitely starting to get into that. As for the protein, definitely still, some eggs, milk, cheese, dairy, although that stuff would be slowing down a little. The animals produce less of it in the winter time. But mainly the meats as our protein would still be what our ancestors would be eating now. There is a big change though. We are starting to switch from the beef and sheep, which were, typically fall slaughtered animals. And now we're moving on to the pork and the goat and things like that. Pork is still in a lot of winter dishes today, in our modern cuisines from around the world. Goat, not so much, but previously, especially in Europe, we ate a lot more goat, and this was very much on the winter menu for our ancestors. If you're gonna eat any beef or the red meats like that, it would be the dried and salted stuff. So you might indulge yourself in a little roast beef sandwich like I am doing here. And these dried and salted meats you can eat pretty much the whole winter, as our ancestors would have stored. Also fish, if your ancestors lived by the sea. Lakes and rivers too, but remember, a lot of the fish migrate out of the cold lakes and rivers into the warmer sea water for the winter, so definitely more fish if your ancestors are from the coasts. You might also have some hunted game in your diet, although the hunts would be coming to an end as well. We have records and traditions that the hunts lasted until like the end of December time, but definitely hunts slowing down and going to be stopping eating the wild game for the foreseeable months as well. And that's about it. We might also indulge in some winter sweets, as our ancestors would have done as well at this time of year. Just know that these massive amounts of sugar and these cookies, candies, all this garbage, massive amounts of sugar was not brought into Europe until about the 1300s. So if you are going to indulge in some sugar, still always year round, keep it moderate. And ideally get your sugar from the honey or the dried fruits like our ancestors would have done for many thousands of years. And that is about it for our final month of the ancestral diet for the year. Hope you guys enjoyed following me along this journey this year. I'll be doing it again next year, but changing up these videos with a little different styles. And also I will be following it a whole lot more strictly than I did this year. Finally, our last monthly physique update to see how the body changes while we eat seasonally. Now, this I am not like a poster boy for the seasonal diet quite yet. Like I said, I haven't been following it this year, but I was trying to follow it, especially towards the end of the year, and bulk up for the winter. I'm not quite where I want to be. I was trying to get to 105 kilos, but I have a competition actually next week where I'm supposed to weigh 97. So let's see what I can do. Let's see if I can get down to that 97 kilos. I'm about 100 right now, and yeah, maybe put on 5 or 10 kilos by the end of the Christmas season, and that will be about it for the bulking that I will do at least. But let me know, what have you guys been feeling? How have you felt this year? Any changes? Any positive months, negative months? But yeah, this was the seasonal diet for this year, and lots more to come, lots more exciting things to come in the new year. We're going to keep growing and keep doing what we do and spread the word. But that's all for today.